Hi everyone. Please excuse the video if there's something wrong with it. And just to let you know, I don't like to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this on the video, so it's basically just gonna be in the descriptions. Please excuse the noise in the background. I have a sister and right now she's just being weird. Anyways, let's just get into it. Just to let you guys know, I'm not a beginner. A lot of people have been stealing my sketchbooks, so that's the reason why my art looks like this. I have been without a sketchbook for over 5 or 4 months because of people stealing them. So for today, all I really wanted to talk about was how to improve your art, but I'm not really good at explaining, so I would like to list most of the YouTubers that I've watched from over a week because I really needed to see how to explain it. The first person I wanted to talk about is lavendertowne. Now, I remember lavendertowne from when I was probably 9 or 10, but I wanted to talk about the video she titled, "I want to draw, but I have no motivation." Now, I have that problem where I get my sketchbook and I'm ready to draw whatever, but I don't know what I really want to draw because I usually draw the same characters over and over again, just in different poses. In her video, she talks about motivation, inspiration, and execution. I don't even know if I said those words right. The first one we're going to talk about is motivation. lavendertowne describes motivation as the will to do the thing you want to do. Let me give you an example. When it comes to motivation and art form, let's say you see a friend or your favorite YouTuber drawing basically almost anything, you would probably feel that motivation to do the same thing. Like for me, my first motivation was seeing my uncle sketch people as triangles, and I wanted to do the same thing. Now I don't do triangle people anymore. Reason being, my second motivation was Haley Senpai. Rest in peace. Now, I know motivation isn't the person itself, but I really wanted to talk about it as a person. lavendertowne talks about having motivation but not having inspiration. She talks about sitting in front of your sketchbook and drawing what you want to draw, but after drawing it a couple times, you feel like you haven't changed anything, or it doesn't look as good as you wanted it to. She also talks about comic making, basically giving a description on you could have motivation to make a comic, but you don't feel inspired by the way you draw to actually do it. She also talks about execution, where you have inspiration and motivation, but you feel like the artwork isn't coming out the way you want it to. So you either give up or come back to it later, which is actually a good thing to do by coming back to it later. She also says something about if you don't have all three, that could also lead up to not having finishing sketches or finished ideas that you really want to do, leading up to a sketchbook full of unfinished pages. In lavendertowne's video, she also discusses her suggestions on what to do while not having ideas. For me, I listen to music or try to stay in a quiet place, but with a sibling, that's hard to do, which I understand for people who aren't the only child. Watching movies that you really like or really feel like you're into is also a good way to get inspired and have ideas. Same for comic books or books that you really feel like are your type and what you're actually into. You might think this is strange, but she also talks about making yourself bored. I can understand where she's going by this because when I didn't have a phone, all I was bored until I got my first sketchbook. Now, I know for some people like me, it's hard because your phone is just like right beside you, even though your sketchbook is right in front of you. But she also talks about sitting inside the bathtub, which I don't understand because I usually sit inside the bathtub with music on. So I have my phone with me 24/7. But in a quiet place like the bathroom and the bathtub, that would probably be a good way to get ideas. Please, and I mean please, clean your workspace, or at least like go into a workspace that is already cleaned, because for some people it's gonna make it hard to like work, and I can understand that. But for me, I'm usually always working in a messy spot just because my room is usually always messy. You don't always have to be inspired to make a sketch, but it's usually required, or for some people it's required to feel inspired so you can make a sketch. Well, that's all the time I have. I hope you guys are having a great day or night. Bye.